Today, I will be going to discuss about what is socio-cultural dimensions of second language acquisition. The socio-cultural dimensions of second language acquisition are based on Lev Vygotsky's socio-cultural theory of learning and development. This theory emphasizes that learning is a social process shaped by interaction, culture, and tools for communication. Lev Vygotsky was born on November 17, 1896. He was a Russian and Soviet psychologist, best known for his work on psychological development in children and creating the framework known as socio-historical activity theory. According to Vygotsky 1978, Wang, Bruce, and Hughes 2011 that sociocultural theories or SCT was developed by Lev Vygotsky in the 1920s and 1930s. Describe human cognition as developed by an individual through engagement in social and cultural activities with other people, objects, and events. This explained that human thinking and learning are shaped by social and cultural interactions. People develop their cognitive abilities through engagement with others, objects, and events in their environment. This theory highlights the importance of collaboration, communication, and cultural tools in learning. According to Savelle Troike 2012, defined second language acquisition as the study of individuals or groups who are learning a language subsequent to learning their first one as a young children. Second language acquisition, or SLA, is concerned with how individuals acquire a language other than their native language. In social-cultural dimensions of second language acquisition, there are four key foundations. First is social interaction. Second is cultural context. Third is mediation. Fourth is identity and motivation. First is social interaction. According to Vygotsky 1978, language acquisition occurs through meaningful social interactions where learners engage with fluent speakers or peers to practice and develop their skills. This aligns with Vygotsky's zone of proximal development, or ZPD, which emphasizes that learners can achieve higher levels of understanding with guidance from more knowledgeable individuals. For example, the teacher pairs students to practice introducing themselves. One student says, "My name is Sarah," and the other responds, "Nice to meet you, Sarah." They take turns until they feel confident. Second is cultural context. According to Lantoff and Thon 2006, to communicate effectively, learners must understand the cultural norms and values associated with the language. Recognizing cultural nuances fosters deeper connections and more authentic language use. For example, the teacher explains how Americans celebrate Thanksgiving and how it differs from holidays in the students' home countries. Students then role-play inviting someone to a Thanksgiving dinner.
Third, mediation. According to Swain, Keener, and Steinman 2011, mediation refers to the tools and resources, such as language, gestures, and technology, that facilitate learning. Teachers, peers, and instructional materials act as mediators, helping learners internalize linguistic structures. For example, the teacher shows a picture of a park and asks students to describe it using simple sentences. When a student struggles, the teacher gestures to a bench and says, "This is a bench. What color is it?" Fourth, identity and motivation. According to Dornier 2009, language learning is closely tied to identity formation, as learners integrate new linguistic and cultural practices into their sense of self. When learners perceive the language as valuable for their goals, whether academic, professional, or social, their commitment to acquiring it increases. For example, in a project-based learning activity, students create presentations about their hobbies or dream jobs in the target language. One student who loves basketball practices diligently because they want to confidently share their passion with the class and feel recognized as a basketball fan. In second language acquisition, there are two components. We have the implicit learning and explicit learning. Implicit learning refers to the subconscious acquisition of knowledge through exposure to patterns and structures without explicit instruction or awareness. For example, a child learns the rules of grammar by listening to conversations in their native language. So, they are not consciously aware of learning grammar rules but acquire them naturally through exposure. Second, explicit learning. It involves deliberate and conscious efforts to understand and retain information. Learners are aware they are studying and often receive direct explanations or instruction. For example, a teacher explains the rule of subject-verb agreement to a language class and provides exercises for practices. So, the learning process is deliberate and involves clear instruction and awareness of the rules.